Neighborhood is C-Mac. Shout out my loc, Spider Loc, cuz. Neighborhood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, Chris.
Neighborhood Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spider Loc. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
It was point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
Always keep it hood, unlike me. I'm a G, on crib, I'm slaying.
You have impacted them, only more so because you're not an actor playing a part.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm real life.
Actualize this shit.
Yeah.
You made this shit reality.
Yeah.
They don't have the mental capacity to be able to process that type of shit, man.
Oh, my mama, he say SPI when you putting Born to Bang on iTunes. And I forgot all about Born to Bang. I'm going to have to try to track that down and put it on one of these lost tape series. It's crazy that the parental theory or the theme of parental children high profile drama has been carrying on from the last session. What was it? We tapped in on the Romeo Master P thing. And then it was like not really parental, but we stayed in the same realm with the JD Bow Wow. And now we just spoke about Doja and his daughter. And it's ironic enough, another situation with a high-profile person and a child is at hand with Amari Stoudemire. I don't know how many of y'all are real familiar with Amari Stoudemire, but from a time past, he was a very popular basketball player. And it's reported that he had a situation with his daughter, where he is. Yeah, that was me, Freedom Miller. Oh, my mama. For some reason, she ain't aware of the post that I left in her DM. She say she ain't get it. I ain't trying to be too thirsty and just keep like, you know what I'm saying? But I got it under her DM from both of my little backup pages. My real page got knocked down. I'm yet to be right, happened to be right there, so we got at her, and she coming with the IG shit. But yeah, that was me. But anyway, I'm gonna read this story on what Amari Stoudemire went through. This is something beyond, cause I don't know how you come from up under this, how you can like. Yeah, I know she did. Just check this out, cuz. God, whew. Former NBA star Amari Stoudemire was arrested in Miami after allegedly punching and slapping his teenage daughter. Punching and slapping. I can remember my daughter, Genesis, she like, what, 19? I don't know, she was like 14 or something. And I remember I slapped the shit out of her because of being face to face, me putting down a fatherly perspective with aggression, getting at her, and the way her response was in my face and what she did. And then she looked at Curtis. Curtis was just at the age where she started driving. And she was like, take me home. And I couldn't resist it. And wow, it was a build-up. But punch, never. And outside of that, I've never like slapped none of my children and that was one moment. So the punch I don't get, but damn, I hope he ain't really punch his baby. But allegedly punching and slapping his teenage daughter. Police records show Stoudemire, 40, is charged with battery. Miami Police Department records show he denies the charges. Rightfully so. If it's not true, I hope it's not true. There is a possibility it could be trumped up. Stoudemire allegedly entered his daughter's room in his Miami home Saturday night and accused her of talking back to her grandmother. Now, if that's his mother, you can see where the energy could be like, you digitalize. It can pick up depending on her attitude. You know how, the 6'10" former New York Knicks and Miami Heat center, because look, he say her grandmother. I can remember being maybe, I don't know, what, I might have been like 20-something, and my cousin, she a female, she was like 16, and we was at my grandmother's house. You know how your grandparents had them long tables where they could say you could sit at the head of the table, high the head, long ass table. My grandmother was in the kitchen, and my female cousin, I was at the head of the table, and she was on the opposite end of the head of the table, and my grandmother was in the kitchen behind me. And, I could have been at the edge of the table where I could see my grandmother. I believe that's what it was. It was either or. However, I can remember, my grandmother was behind me because she was facing my grandmother. And I just remember my grandmother trying to nip it in the bud and make it be over with. And I remember it was a bottle of dishwashing liquid, brand new, ain't never been opened. And I'm telling my cousin the whole time, like, she younger than me. I'm like, man, and my grandmother don't cuss. And she trying her harder. She had her words she would say instead of cuss words like, well, I'll be John Brown. And she'll say darn instead of I'll be damn. But she ain't gonna cuss. And she was using them words trying to hold her own and had something, I forget, was something simple to where you supposed to just bow down to your grandmother. And I remember she got me so irritated to the point where I took the dishwashing liquid and just bam, and hit her right in the. So I can't understand about somebody being defensive of disrespect toward a grandmother. Just think about it. Here in the black box, it's on my mama. But the 6'10" former New York Knicks and Miami Heat center then punched her on the right side of her jaw. If that can be proven in any way, or if that sticks, he gonna be in trouble. Wow. 6'10", punching a 16-year-old female. Right side of her jaw, slapped her in the face, leaving her with a bloody nose, and then repeatedly slapped the left side of her body, according to the police report. One of the officers responded to the scene, wrote in the report that he observed blood stains on the victim's sweater and sweatpants. The teen texted her mother a picture of her crying with blood running down her face, and when the girl's mother called Stoudemire, he advised her to pick their daughter up because she was being disrespectful. According to the report, according to police, Stoudemire told them his daughter had called her mother because she was sad that she had received a whooping from him for being disrespectful and a liar. When asked to elaborate, Stoudemire refused to answer and was then arrested. Police said Stoudemire has two daughters, ages 17 and 14, according to CBS Miami. It was not clear which daughter was involved in the incident, so I wonder where does the reporter of a 16-year-old come. But anyway, he took to Instagram to deny the charges, saying, over the last 24 hours, an incident at my family home led to my being charged with assaulting my daughter. It is an allegation based on a report that does not square with the facts. I am of the Jewish faith. I don't mean to laugh, but in a climate like that, that's almost going in court and flashing signs, Mason signs, trying to get juice. I remember when I was a teenager in Huntsville, Alabama, I was facing felonies. And I was a minor, but they charged me as an adult. But before they could charge me as an adult, they had to go through a hearing to see, they had a hearing if I could be eligible to be classified as an adult. And at the age of 17, the court was in juvenile court before they classified me as an adult. And when you're in juvenile court, unlike adult court, the public, the general public, is not allowed to just come in and watch the court case. You have to be an associated family member or something. And the only person I had in court, in Huntsville, Alabama, back then at the time, was my older cousin. He like 2 years older than me. He like 19. And when I was trying to develop a witnesses, they told me, if you're a witness as well, you can't sit through the whole court. So he only had the option to either be a witness on my behalf, or he could sit in the whole proceedings and watch it for support. However, he was a Mason, so I opted to not utilize him as a witness and asked him to sit in the court and flash signs at the judge in hopes that the judge is a Mason and I would gain favor. Although I got certified as an adult and had to bail out twice, I swear to God, eventually the charges disappeared, and there's a suspicion somewhere deep in my soul that perhaps my cousin was effective on my behalf sitting in that court. It took some time, no way to prove, but because it worked out, just like they say, tell you to pray. If you pray for something didn't happen, you're going to suspect that the prayer was associated. So I just say that to say this, him hollering out, I am of Jewish faith in this climate right now is an attempt to gain favor with the public. Wow. Because I don't understand where that comes from. I am of the Jewish faith. Today, Jewish people all over the world celebrate Hanukkah and hear the story of how we fought wickedness. I believe that whatever is hateful to you, do not do to others. As the investigation unfolds, the facts will show the allegations to be groundless, as my daughter's medical condition is not the result of being assaulted by a father who is nearly 7 feet tall. Yeah, he understands, and weighs 250 pounds. I can never see myself assaulting any person, especially my children. I respect, protect, and love my family, particularly my children. As a father, I ask for your grace as we secure our space and privacy. This my thing, bro. It's just hard for me to imagine being a father myself. No relationship is perfect. Like I just share incidents where it's up and downs with my children. But being a father that is above reproach in just your attempt to have a healthy relationship with your child, it's hard for you to imagine a scenario where you would be falsely accused of doing something of this nature. And, you know, I refuse to stand in judgment at this point. I have no idea. Of course, I'm in judgment of if these allegations are true. It's all bad. You know, you can't be punching no female, let alone your baby girl. But I hope they aren't true. I just can't imagine how they could be totally untrue and be being made by your child if they are being made by your child. I know there's scenarios where this takes place, but I would like to believe I have a relationship with my children. They love me so much. I couldn't imagine them now telling on me in a time of me being wrong, that violent. I would hope I would still have action, but I would never do them that way. However, I could never at this point imagine them just making up and lying on me like that. You dig it, lies? Somebody in the chat made a request for 97 ways. And even when I scratch my brain 97 ways, I can't see the possibility of my children doing me like that. But that's another scenario, high profile parental problems that's popping. So we covered it on my mama.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. 97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me a bag. 97 ways we gon' live it. Bay Mac in the building. 97 ways we gon' live it. We gon' live it. 97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me up back.
100,000 feel like something when you're thumbing through it. Done it when some would say one would be dumb to do it. Running circles round rappers on their last lap. PayPal perhaps. Ass cap the cash app. Ass app is how I expect the next direct deposit. Positivity, love, phone posits, check the closet. To say we touching paper is an understatement. Underground label running late, tell them run the payment. Executive decisions, check the balance. Time to monetize the talents, I accept the challenge. Memory a crazy tune, 111 days. Local for my days, 97 ways.
97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me a bag. 97 ways we gon' live it. Big Mac in the building. 97 ways we gon' live it. We gon' live it. 97 ways we gon' live it. You can tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me a bag.
Unable to fake it, fuck how they take it. Heard about the meeting, I was able to make it. Just sick of watching Sherm heads squabble each other while the judge steady handing out lottery numbers. It go down year round, ain't gotta be summer. Life's a bitch and niggas never get apologies from her. Dumber, big and little homies frequently locking. Don't see no other options, that's the reason they flocking. SPI ain't the nigga, how you figure fat? Gift the gab, every gig get a bigger bag. Either name your price or it's appropriation. Finesse game, nigga nice with negotiations.
97 ways we gon' live it. You can't tell me shit about my crippin'. I done been a loco my living. Now it's time to chase me a bag. 97 ways we gon' live it. Big Mac in the building. 97 ways we gon' live it.
Snake Wood Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.